Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is your girl Mitzi, and this is Mitzi. Let's think about it. Today we are thinking about dogs chasing cars. Yes, that is a thinker, and I'm pretty sure you're confused. Like, where is this going to take me? Well, don't worry. Strap in. It's going to be a fun ride. We have Pat here who's going to really help us think about this in a whole new way. So, Pat, thank you so much for coming on to my show and sharing your time and your perspective with me. You could be doing anything right now, but you're with me, so I truly appreciate this. So let's just dive right in. When you hear those words, dogs chasing cars, what does that make you think about?
Hmm. Well, the origin of the title um goes back way, way long ago to my senior year of high school. And um I was talking to a girl in the hallway and the bell rang for class to start.
Hmm.
And I had to I had to get to English class, which was right across the hall. And I said, well, I'm kind of having a good conversation with this girl, and she's never given me the time of day before, so there's no way I'm leaving this conversation.
Yeah.
And so I look across the hall, and there's my teacher looking at me, and he's not happy, but he's not going to do anything about it. So I walk into class about 10 minutes late, and he looked, and I said, sorry, I was talking to somebody. And he said, that's okay. Dogs chase cars, but they can't drive them. Meaning, you know, you wouldn't know what to do if you caught that car, if you got that girl. So anyway, it always stuck with me.
Oh yeah, I love that because people really don't know what to do once they get someone or something or an opportunity. They like freeze
Absolutely.
and they're like, maybe this isn't what I signed up for. So yes, that is an interesting one. I love that it's
Yeah.
stuck with you since high school. Goodness gracious, you're a grown man already, and it still sticks with you
Hey,
now.
come on now. So yeah, well, it just became this metaphor for life. What do you know? Do people know what to do when they chase something so long? Do they know what to do once they catch it, once they achieve a goal? How do you stay on top of the mountain?
Exactly. And not a lot of people think about it like that. Like they don't know how to even get to the goal. They don't even know how to even achieve it or bask in the moments when they are in the goal. Like let's say for instance somebody always wanted to be a motivational speaker and then they get the opportunity to motivate and have the platform, but then they're like maybe this isn't for me. Like that's a real thing. Like how do you really do with this? So it's like for you, how do you enjoy the moment when when you finally achieve that success, if that makes sense?
I think we are a society that doesn't always celebrate its victories the way it should. I know that I grew up that way. It's like, especially working in the newspaper industry so long, you write a great story and you come into work that day and it's there and you have about 10 minutes to read it and go, oh, all right, this is great. And everyone says, good job. But 10 minutes later, you have to start working on tomorrow's edition. So how do you celebrate that victory? You really don't.
Yeah,
So
nobody does.
yeah. I think taking time to just acknowledge an achievement and celebrate and acknowledge the people who are around you. So
Yeah,
does that
I
make sense?
agree. No, that makes perfect sense because it's like people they see goals as these big stepping stones that they have to like really stretch out to achieve it, not realizing like that's not very realistic. And once you get there, you kind of like ready for the next one already. But it's like to achieve a goal, it's like little steps. You know what I mean? And all of those little steps to achieve your goal, those are you have to celebrate.
Yes.
Every little victory gets closer. Like every time you work out, that's a victory because that's closer
A-
to your weight loss goal. You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
not eating greasy food, that's a victory. You chose the right food, chose the right choices in life, and I think the fact that we always feel the need to have like an applause or somebody congratulating you. I mean, a lot of the work is done in silence and not not in the open where people really see you. So it's like you really have to take the time and to learn to validate yourself and value all of the hard work and sacrifices that went into meeting those goals. So it's like when you finally wrote your book, did you celebrate it?
You know, yeah, well, yes and no. Um, the so so I came up with the idea about 7 years ago,
Okay.
and then I put it on the back burner,
Hmm.
and and then I had a medical emergency about 2 years ago, and I was going to be off work for 9 weeks, and I said, okay, what can I do that's really meaningful with this 9 weeks? Can't go to work. I don't want to sit around and catch up on soap operas. Do they sell soap operas on TV right now? I don't
I
even know.
I think so because I think I seen Days of Our Lives is still on and that's been on for years. Oh my goodness, I don't even know how it's still
Yes,
running, but yes.
yes. So I didn't want to catch up on Real Housewives or anything like that. So anyway, I I I picked up the notes I had taken on this book, and the idea for the book came um after I'd watched a lot of good friends lose their jobs in a mass layoff in the newspaper industry. That was the impetus for the book. So I went back and I looked through my notes and kind of weeded the garden, so to speak, got rid of all the junk, and I just came up with some new ideas and I started writing. And I wrote for about 2 hours a day, 2 to 3 hours a day, and which, when you think about it, isn't that long. You work 8 hours a day, and 3 hours of writing isn't that crazy. But at the end of 9 weeks, I had what I a first draft to my book, and I was like, wow, that was pretty cool, and I was really proud of this thing. Little did I know that a first draft of a book is basically this is the starting line, because
Yeah.
now you bring in an editor and he says, okay, you ready to work now? It's got some possibilities, and so for the next year. So I think when I held it in my hand for the first time, an actual book, yeah, it was a very emotional. um I had it was very emotional to me, because all of that hard work, and it was something I never thought I could do. So
Hmm.
here I am with a book in my hand with my name on it. Wow.
I know that feeling when oh my goodness, it's an amazing feeling to f have like the physical copy in your hand with your name on it. It's like a plaque, you know what I mean? It's like something that now belongs to you. It officially puts you in place with all these other amazing authors. I mean, maybe we're not at that level like all these amazing authors, but now I'm an author. Now I'm a published author. Now I'm officially there. And I also love the fact that you talked about how you were able to finally get this draft, the first draft done. And I know what you mean. Oh my goodness. When I got my first draft done, it took me like a year to get it done. And when I did, it felt so good. And I reached out to an editor and they were like, well, it has good bones, but it needs a lot of work. And I am still in the final last draft of my novel because man, they weren't wrong because when I gave myself a break after I went with the editor and they were like, we got good bones, but it needs more stuff into it. I was like, okay, so I gave myself a few months of a break so that I can go into fresh eyes. And when I did, it was just like, yeah, I see what you're saying. I need that. I need to add in. And it's like you add in, you put in your heart, you put in the vision, you put in everything in there, and then it's like, okay, is it better? You know what I mean? Like you always go in with like, oh, I hope they can accept it. So for you, was it easy to find a publisher? Did you go in the traditional route or did you go in the self-publishing route?
I tried the traditional route to start with, and it's such a weird
It
um,
is weird.
business right now.
Yeah.
I don't like that there are a certain number of, like, so to speak, gatekeepers who are choosing winners and losers in the world right now. And I started getting approached by self-publishing companies, and I'm like, no, I want to do this. I want to do this the traditional way to start with. And after 5 or 6 months of just banging my head, I said, okay, let's listen to what they have to say. I self-published, and you know, I would love to say, Yeah, I'd do it again that way, but I'd love for some publishing house to come and say, you know what, we screwed up with you, and we want your stuff from now on. Is that going to happen? Probably not, because I look at the Amazon list right now, and what do they have, like 1.5 million titles right now, or something like that. I'm a needle in a haystack, and that's the way it works.
Oh, you're not wrong for saying that. And I'm glad that you said the needle in a haystack because that's exactly how I feel too. Because they give you this number on Amazon and all these book places of where you land, and then once you see that number, it's like, ooh. And then once you do your research on publishing and marketing and all that other stuff, you realize all of these best time sellers, they don't really sell anything. They just pay their way through. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
they find some person and then they pay it and then they get the label. You know what I mean? They get this label, they get this label, they get this label, but nobody actually reads the books and nobody actually knows what's going on with your book. And it's like, it's so frustrating because it's like, is anybody actually care? Like, do anybody actually read it? It's like, I know exactly what you mean. So how do you keep your spirits up?
You know, you talk about that list and what the rankings and all of that stuff. And for the first 2 or 3 weeks, once I discovered those rankings, I was checking it like once, at least once a day, and more like 2 or 3 times a day. And then I said, you know what? I got to stop doing this because it's driving me crazy. Because
Yeah.
I climbed up to as high as 55 on the list. And I was like, oh, wow, you're a star. And then all of a sudden, the next day, I'm at like 1,500. And I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
So it's, I have just learned that I know the people who've read it have enjoyed it. Um, People like you are helping get the word out about it. That I am grateful to you for that. It just requires getting eyes on it, and I think once they get eyes on it, they're going to like the story. They're going to like the storyline. It's a beautiful story, I think.
Yes, I think you're right. I think the once people are actually know that it's out and know that it's available, it makes people realize like, wow, what a great story. I mean, because I think all authors they feel like that with their work. They feel like it's beautiful, it's special, it's poetic, it's an imaginative, you know what I mean? It's relatable, but it's like until somebody actually opens it up and actually dives in and devotes their time to read it, oh my goodness, that's the only time that people actually get to really see your world, see everything that comes from it. And so I guess to dive back into your book, what is it really about for the ones who don't know yet?
So the book is about the downturn in the newspaper industry through the eyes of a longtime Kansas City sports columnist
Oh,
who's
okay.
driving into work one day expecting to be the latest casualty in a mass layoff. And um, the book flashes back. It takes place over a single day, but it flashes back to the seminal events that he's covered. Some big sporting events that you would recognize. Are you a Badger fan, or are
Yeah.
you
Yeah, I'm a
okay?
Badger fan.
All right, no, we won't hold that against you. But anyway, no, I covered the NFL for 8 years,
Oh, okay,
so it,
nice.
it flashes back to a lot of those games you would recognize and a lot of the people you would recognize, and then it flashes back to, more importantly, the people um, who kind of made a difference in his life, and the relationships that got him to where he was, but more importantly, the relationships he failed with. Um, he he was he had a father who he didn't recognize how important his father was until his father was no longer around, and he had a wife who was always in his corner, but he was always chasing a story. So at the end of the day, he is left with pretty much alone while he's about to lose the one thing in his life that he bet everything on, which was his job. So he's
Yeah.
completely without everything. So it's kind of a cautionary tale on striking a balance between home and work life.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. And then now I know why you named it the way that you did. It's such a beautiful, it comes back around 360 because we get so caught up with our dreams and our goals and we forget about all the other relationships, all the other things that are going on that need our attention still. But our focus can sometimes truly take us away from all the other meaningful things. And I loved how you said that if it focuses on those failed relationships, you know what I mean? Because so many
Yes,
people don't even acknowledge those failed relationships. They'll say, "Oh, well, I burned the bridge, who cares?" You know what I mean? Or what does it matter that they're no longer in my life? If they're no longer in my life, then screw it. That's on them. That's not on me. And they lose that accountability. You know what I mean? So many people are
right.
losing that accountability and that honorability of owning up and honoring those commitments that you promised to people or to situations, and yet you were so focused on something else that you were like, nah, it's not that important. But it's like it still holds value. So I guess how would you recommend somebody to hold on to that accountability?
You know that the accountability is just being true to yourself, but it's also um, acknowledging everything you have in life, and there's so much more. We're not, unfortunately, we live in a country where we're defined by what we do, not who we
Hmm.
are.
Hmm.
And so this man is a that's the story of his life. He has created a he has put himself in a position where he achieved all of his goals professionally while allowing everything else to slip in the process. And and it you have to look at the people in your life each day and tell them you love them, tell them you appreciate them, and you acknowledge them.
Yeah.
Those things, and I think we fail to do so on a daily basis. I think we've gotten better at it because I know, I grew up in a family where I knew I was loved, but we didn't say I love you every time we left the house. I have a daughter right now who every time I get off the phone with her, I give her an I love you, and she gives me an I love you back. So we've evolved. I've evolved in that regard.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that is something so true, and people don't even acknowledge the fact that people want to know what you achieve to determine if you are even worthy of being in some type of status. But it's like, if I don't have all of these achievements, does it devalue me as a human being? And technically saying, no, it doesn't. And I think those people who just focus on where's your status? How many followers you have? How many likes you have? Where's your audience base? You know what I mean? How many people are this? And it's like it doesn't mean anything because a lot of the times half of those are just fabricated. They're just robot engines that are followers. Those are just not even real likes half of the times. Or they go through these now they're called farms where these robotic farms where there's this station of just a whole bunch of phones and tablets with different IDs and agendas and users IDs that are just watching or streaming or just doing all these things, but they're not real people. You know what I mean? So it's like how real is what you're saying? How real is your following base anyways? And I think it's truly entitlement when it comes to those people that are like, well, do you even know how many followers I have? I'm an influencer. And I'm just like, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? How's your heart? Is your heart good? I mean, are you a good person? Do you have empathy? Do you have compassion? Are you relatable to a sense? And I don't think people are that way. You know what I mean? They're no longer relatable. They no longer have that understanding of just being human and just being themselves as if it's not good enough. So it's like, how did
So think
you go ahead?
I'm sorry for interrupting you. Don't you think technology and our technological advancements, so to speak, have kind of swayed us in a way where we've taken the personal effects out of everything? I mean,
Yeah.
we think about it. We used to go into the bank and to cash our checks each day, put our to deposit our checks into the bank, and you knew your banker, you knew your teller, they recognized you. It was a relationship. Now it's direct deposit. You have no idea who these people are, but you have a problem with your bank, and you go into the bank and try to rectify the situation. That becomes a challenge because they don't know who you are, and
Yeah.
you don't have an appointment because everything's automated now. So
Hmm.
it's just created a situation where customer service has taken a hit because we don't have that personal touch anymore. We don't have relationships with professional relationships with those people who used to do things for us. And that's the story of this guy's life. He is kind of going through his life, watching the world change before him, and the things that used to matter to everybody only matter to him now. Those relationships of being able to call on these people. Nobody cares about those things anymore. The world's passed him by a little bit.
Yeah, and I think so many and that's so the beauty of your book and that it makes it relatable. You know what I mean? So many people can read your book and relate to that character and think about how many times have I dismissed something? You know what I mean? How many times have I devalued something that was valuable to somebody else's eyes, you know? And it's so easy, especially if you're a parent. You can devalue your children's sporting events or your children's arts or your children anything, you know what I mean? Just because you're so focused on, oh, I gotta make money, I gotta support the house, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And it does lose its value. And I love the fact that you said how technology as it advances, we are losing this human connection. This humanity is not, we're not human anymore. It's because it seems like we're trying to compete with the robotics and be like a robot, unemotional, no empathy, no compassion, no understanding. It's about black and white without even noticing the grayscale that's in between of it all. You know what I mean? And we need to
Exactly.
bring that back into the equation so that we realize that once we achieve something, we can feel it, we can embody it, we can embrace it, we can explore it in a whole new way. Like I used to be a CNA for 10, 11 years, and when I was this nursing assistant, I used to deal with people in their 80s and 90s, and I used to ask them like really good questions because I'm like, what even got you here? Like, why don't you have your family here? Like, why don't you have, like, where are your people? And like, why are you alone? And some of these people would tell me like, well, I made bad decisions. I was very selfish, you know, growing up. I didn't really care about my children's life. And you could see it, you know what I mean? They didn't have their family come over. They didn't have their family come over in the holidays. And the ones that actually cared and they were involved and they tried their best, even when they struggled, I mean, their families were there constantly every time that they could. They had the chance. Like I mourned with people's families when it was time to pass on these older individuals, you know what I mean? So it truly makes a difference that when once I left that industry, I was just like, I can't lose that human connection despite all of this technological advancements because then we lose ourselves as a human, you know what I mean, as a humanity. And it truly is something that, like you said in your book, like your teacher told you, dog chasing cars, you know, humans chasing technology, but you can't even do anything about it once you actually get it because what can you do? You know what I mean? You can't really do much. So it really does put things into perspective. But time is catching up to us, and I feel like I could really do talk to you for hours on end, Pat, about this subject. Like we could go down different rabbit holes in so many ways because there it can lead to so much. You know what I mean? So it's like, what can be some lasting words that you can leave us off with to keep on thinking?
I think it's recognizing the people around you. Relationships matter that more than we often give them credit for. And they're not all um intimate relationships. Some of them are just acknowledging the guy at the newsstand every day as you buy a paper, or do they
Yeah.
still do that? Whatever, going into the store and paying, you just making eye contact and being courteous to somebody and having a good day, and just being friendly. But those relationships matter. Those things. Uh, you have the ability to affect somebody's life in a positive way or a negative way, and use that power wisely. relationships are far more important than the paycheck you receive each week, and we take that for granted.
Oh, we do. We
Oh, we do. We
absolutely
have
do. We have learned to focus our minds on money and materialistic gains than actual relationships and the gain that we can get for connecting with one another. And you're right, just noticing somebody who sells hot dogs on the corner, you know what I mean? And then noticing that they're not there, like, oh, I wonder what happens to them. I hope they're
yeah.
okay. You know what I mean? Sending out a prayer and hoping that they get it and they receive it. You know what I mean? Just simple things like that. I mean, that holds so much value. You see these movies and shows of like the apocalypse and the end of times, and you see people realizing like it doesn't matter about color, it doesn't matter about religion, it doesn't matter about what is happening on the outside. It matters if you're human, and if you're human, let's stay together. If you're human, let's connect. Let's team up. And I think we forget to team up and unite because everything else is pulling us and telling us that, oh, it has no value. But it's like we decide what's valuable. And if we remember that humanity is valuable, then we will make sure that humans have that value. So, yes.
And life is hard. I mean, life we we
Mhm.
it we work hard to pay our bills, and but that can't be the driving force. You know,
Exactly.
to go to work each day and come home and be all alone. And I mean that's a sad existence, really, in so many ways. I mean, are you really fulfilled with what you're doing? And
Exactly.
no matter how much you're making, if you're alone, I mean, God didn't intend us to walk this path alone, did he?
No, he didn't. I mean, it even says it in the Bible in Genesis. It is not good for man to be alone. I mean, it says it over and over. And I say it all the time. I do. It's like, come on, we can't live in this individualistic mindset that I only need me, myself, and I. But then you still need to go to the grocery store. You still need to put gas in the car, or you still need to connect the electricity to your car if you're EV. But at the end of the day, you still need someone to source in that gasoline in, that source in those food in, to source in everything that you're coming into the country. You still need sources to delegate certain things. And these are people that we still need in our lives, even if we don't know them. You know what I mean? So it's like
Like,
we need to take into consideration that every life still holds value in a way, shape, or form. We may not be affected to it personally in our day-to-day life. We maybe not, but you don't know. Somebody in South Asia may be affecting you in the United States and you have no idea how, but they are. So it's just like we need to just have that compassion back. Most
we're
definitely.
connected in some way.
Exactly.
and and the sooner we understand that, and some days it's hard to believe that, and it's hard to fathom all of that, but it's true. We have far more in common with somebody in South Asia than we even know. So
Exactly.
yeah, but
Exactly.
I guess that in a nutshell, eh, that's kind of what I wrote about, just
Yeah.
relationships, just people, and taking um eh, paying homage to those things, and understanding and recognizing them.
Yes, yes, exactly. We do really need to recognize it. I mean, it's a small world after all. I mean, literally, it's one Earth. That's all we have. Until we start learning how to jump from different planets with different lives, like this is all we got, this Earth that we're living in. And that's as good as it gets. So we really have to take advantage of it and take advantage of humans and humanity and what connects us. And that's our hearts. You know what I mean? That's our soul. That's our emotion. So we do need to take that into consideration. And ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoy this conversation as much as I did, go check out Pat. I have access to his website that has access to his books, that has access to all the great content that he has to offer the world, just so that you can continue on thinking. And because don't do yourself a disservice by stop thinking. Always keep thinking, you guys. That being said, bye.